Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Edge Hill. My name is Clive Edwards. I'm Pro-Chancellor and Chair of the Governors here at this university. It's now a great pleasure to declare that this ceremony for the conferment of degrees is open.
Pro-Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, honoured guests, colleagues, graduands, family and friends. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Leslie Munro, Clerk to the Governors, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to this ceremony to celebrate the success of our graduands. A special day, one where you can take pride in your achievements and your tutors and families can be proud of the role they have played in getting you here. It's felt like a pretty mad world all round this year, and I think the jury's out on whether Boris will make a difference to that. So days like today are especially important in spreading a little joy and love. Today we are graduating students from the Departments of Biology and Performing Arts. In a flourishing department, biology students have completed programs in plant and human biology, genetics, and ecology and conservation. And there are new courses on stream in biotechnology, biomedical science, and food science. As you might expect, many of our graduates are involved in environmental protection or supporting scientific and medical advances, with some moving into research. The work of scientists and activists across the world, supported by programs such as Blue Planet 2, have helped to raise public awareness of the very real threats we face, from the loss of biodiversity, plastic waste, global warming, climate change, and the overuse of antibiotics. And from David Attenborough at 94 to 16-year-old Greta Thunberg, who has led the school strike for climate movement, the call for action is now coming from all quarters. Our graduates have an opportunity to be part of the solution. Students graduating from the Performing Arts Department have completed courses in dance, drama, music and musical theatre. They are communicators, storytellers and interpreters, exploring and presenting great themes and ideas that offer insight into the human condition. Creative thinkers, they use their bodies and their voices to challenge and provoke as well as to entertain. While successive governments have rightly highlighted the importance of STEM subjects, we must seek to ensure that this does not detract from the critical role of arts and culture in society, both for our well-being and as a vital and increasing contributor to the UK economy. Whether as professionals in their field or as practitioners working in settings such as schools or local communities, where the therapeutic value of performing arts can transform lives for the disabled, the elderly, or the disadvantaged, our graduates will make a difference. And just as we are proud of your achievements today, you can be equally proud of your university. Whilst our journey started in 1885, when we were founded as the first non-denominational teacher training college for women, Edge Hill was only granted university status in 2007. In just 12 years, we are now a top 50 university, and we have no intention of stopping at that, with an award-winning campus and a newly designated medical school. Built on the principles of equality and inclusion, ensuring that your student experience, your student journey, is the best that it can be, is fundamental to our success and to our mission. We hope that our ethos and values will guide and inspire you throughout your life. And with journeys in mind, We have seen a number of anniversaries marked this year that are worthy of mention today. 50 years ago, on the 28th of June 1969, the police raided the Stonewall Inn in Greenwich Village, a bar patronised by some of the poorest and most marginalised members of the gay community who had nowhere else to go. At that time, homosexuality was illegal in most states, and in any event, public displays of same-sex affection were seen as lewd and amoral. Pushed to extremes, that raid sparked a period of rioting, but most importantly, acted as a trigger for the establishment of the gay liberation movement and the modern fight for LGBT rights in the US. The first Gay Pride March was held a year later and has become an annual event which is now celebrated all over the world. Although much has changed in 50 years, the journey for LGBT equality goes on. 75 years ago, on the 6th of June 1944, 150,000 Allied troops shipped out for the D-Day landings on the Normandy beaches to liberate France and to free Europe from Nazi occupation. On that first day, more than 4,500 men lost their lives. With more troops joining them in the days that followed, Operation Overlord represents the largest naval, air, and land assault ever mounted, and yet it would be another year and many more deaths before the Nazis were finally defeated. That journey to Normandy and the race up the beaches must have been terrifying. Many have never been able to speak about it. To these men, and to all those men and women who played their part in securing the freedom and democracy we now enjoy, we owe a debt of gratitude that can never be repaid. And finally, 50 years ago, on July the 16th, 1969, Apollo 11 was launched from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. On board were astronauts Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. On the 21st of July, Neil Armstrong became the first person to walk on the moon. I'm not sure if it's possible to explain what it felt like to witness this. At a time when computing was in its infancy, there were no mobile phones, there were no PCs. This audacious technological achievement was simply mind-blowing to the ordinary man and woman in the street. It's still pretty mind-blowing now. Some journey. Well, it's pretty unlikely that any of us will be travelling to the moon, but how we think about journeys can have a big impact on our lives. And in that context, I want to say something about the ubiquitous sat-nav. I use one myself, who doesn't these days, but I have to say mine is a love-hate relationship. Firstly, I don't like being told what to do. I prefer, if possible, to rely on my own judgment, and having driven for many years without help, I think I'm pretty good at finding my way around. Nevertheless, if I'm going somewhere new and it's important to get there on time, I will turn it on. The second problem is the voice, or the one on mine anyway. So calm, so patronising. It's always a slight thrill when you rebel and take a different route just to show who's boss. But the really difficult thing for me is when it's lulled me into a semi-catatonic state and I suddenly find the instructions too confusing. At the T-junction, turn left, and then immediately turn right, and keep in the left-hand lane. Then the dreaded words signifying abject failure, make a U-turn if possible. The real issue here is that sat-navs make us very complacent in our cars. We don't concentrate, we don't look at signs, or log the landmarks that would get us back home if we get lost. You can do a journey 20 times using a sat-nav and still not be able to do it under your own steam. The latest research suggests over-reliance on gadgets like these may be adversely affecting our cognitive and memory recall skills. So why not go cold turkey and ditch the sat-nav sometimes? Enjoy the journey itself as an adventure and not just as a means to an end. Notice what's around you. That really nice pub you've just gone past. What was it? The Cat and Fiddle? Log it. You might want to go back to it someday. Keen observational skills that pick up tiny details and nuances are essential tools for scientists and artists alike. So you might as well give your brain a workout and get some practice in. And in any event, there is no sat-nav for life's journey. Where you go and how you get there is down to you. Let me tell you about one inspirational life journey. Edith Eger is 92. Her autobiography, The Choice, was published in 2017. Born in Hungary into a Jewish family, she was a talented ballet dancer and in the Olympic gymnastics squad. She loved to dance. It was her way to express her joy in life. In 1944, aged 16, her family was rounded up by the Nazis, interned, and then sent to Auschwitz concentration camp, where both her parents were gassed. Edith and her sister were admitted to the camp, and on that first night, Dr. Joseph Mengele, known as the Angel of Death, came to their hut looking for new talent and ordered her to dance for him. Closing her eyes, she was somehow able to transport herself to the Budapest Opera House and lose herself in the joy of dancing. That earned her a loaf of bread and probably saved her life. Working as slave laborers, Edith and her sister were moved from camp to camp and finally sent on a death march from Mauthausen to Gunskirchen Lager, where they were found barely alive by American GIs who liberated the camp. Although her physical injuries meant she could never dance professionally again, Edith went on to marry and to raise a family in the USA. Later in life, she qualified and practiced as a clinical psychologist before going back to Auschwitz in her 50s to face down her demons. She is still active today, giving talks and lectures. The central premise of Edith's book is that life is about choices, that choice gives us freedom, and that even when things happen that are beyond our control, we can still choose how we respond. We can still be in control. In her words, suffering is universal, but victimhood is optional. Edith still dances for pleasure. She dances to express her joy for her life. So as you leave here today, we all wish you joy and happiness on your journey. You have all the talents and skills that you need, so be confident in yourself and who you are. You have the love of your family and your friends to support you. Make your choices wisely, but be bold enough to take a chance now and again. Challenge yourself. You are capable of more than you think. Never mind Mrs. Thatcher, make a U-turn if you need to. And watch out for those landmarks so you always know where you are and how to get back if you need to. Be kind to yourself and to others. Keep dancing. Have a great day. And if you pass the Cat and Fiddle on your way home, do stop off. Mine's a gin and tonic. Thank you.
Pro-Chancellor, Gary Everett is a creative producer, cultural activist and curator whose work has had a massive positive impact on the presence and profile of lesbian, gay, bi and trans artists. Following a career as an actor and theatre director, Gary has spent the last 20 years programming, commissioning and producing work by an extensive range of LGBT+ artists for regional, national and international audiences. In 2003, Gary founded the international arts and heritage organisation Homotopia, and for 15 years worked as its chief executive and artistic director. Homotopia was the first publicly funded LGBT arts and cultural organisation in Merseyside. Every year since 2004, Homotopia has presented an extensive, challenging and exciting programme of exhibitions, performances, film, in-conversation events and more, under bold themed titles such as There's No Place Like Homotopia, A Queer New World, From Liverpool with Love, and Cruising for Art. Homotopia was a key highlight of Liverpool's European Capital of Culture 2008, described at the time by leader of Liverpool City Council, Councillor Mike Story, as a sign of Liverpool's growing maturity as a European city. During this period, Gary raised and attracted over £5 million in funding, investment, in-kind support, sponsorship and positive media exposure for the performing arts. This impressive track record in arts development is positioned in his much wider programme of advocacy for LGBT arts and culture and for equality and human rights in general. As a curator, producer and developer, Gary has taken the risks that are necessary to create significant and impactful cultural events. The results of Gary's boldness and vision can be seen in the brands he has created, the projects he has led, and the vibrant network of local, national and international partnerships and connections built around them. Gary has worked with Edge Hill University's Department of Performing Arts on a number of occasions. In 2012, he programmed and co-funded Council House Movie Star, a film and installation by Dr. Mark Edward, filmmakers Rosa Fong and Mark Fremo, and designer Olivia de Montso. This multimedia piece, investigating how society views drag artists by exploring social issues around class and age, opened and closed that year's Homotopia and set a new benchmark for ambitious and complex work in the festival. In 2013, as an independent initiative, Gary produced and curated April Ashley, Portrait of a Lady, at the Museum of Liverpool. This major exhibition explored the life and legacy of the former Vogue model and actress who was one of the first people in the world to undergo gender reassignment surgery. As well as celebrating the inspiring story of a famous transgender individual and a tireless campaigner for trans equality, the exhibition included some of the remarkable life stories of members of the trans and gender diverse communities. The exhibition was the biggest ever project at the museum and was extended twice due to popularity, eventually attracting record audiences of close to 1 million. Media coverage valued at over £1.2 million included BBC One Breakfast News, The Guardian, ITN Granada News, Daily Telegraph, The Times, Huffington Post and the Daily Mirror, extending the visibility of the show by many millions. A portrait of April Ashley was added to the museum's permanent collection to form part of the exhibition's legacy within the city's cultural heritage. In another milestone project, Gary Everett produced the year-long major Tom of Finland retrospective exhibition in Finland as part of the official programme for Turku's European Capital of Culture 2011. Tom's accomplished and distinctive work, which aimed to encourage its audience to think positively about their act and whole being, had never been exhibited in his home city before. The exhibition attracted over 90,000 visitors, significant critical attention, and toured to Stockholm. Gary conceived and developed the award-winning anti-hate education initiative Project Triangle, which explored the legacy of the Holocaust and the impact that Nazi persecution had on LGBT communities. The project developed to include faith, gender, race and sexuality, and toured 35 schools with an accompanying digital education pack and teachers' resources. Project Triangle was developed in partnership with Merseyside Police and the National Union of Teachers and endorsed by Sir Ian McKellen. It continues to be available as a free download used by teachers in many schools. Gary's work is wide-ranging, international and impactful. He is passionate about increasing community cohesion through the development and delivery of arts activities and educational projects. Gary Everett is an inspirational human being who has had a positive impact on vast numbers of his fellow human beings, the artists he has promoted and championed, communities he has worked to empower, audiences who have experienced the festivals, exhibition and events he has made happen. With immense energy and persistence, Gary promotes greater access to the arts for LGBT communities, inspires and unites marginalised and mainstream groups, campaigns for social justice and equality, challenges homophobia, transphobia and prejudice. Today, Edge Hill University is proud to support an individual whose work enriches our cultural life and expands our horizons. Pro-Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, graduands, colleagues and guests, it is my great privilege to present Gary Everett for the award of Doctor of Arts honoris causa.
By the authority vested in me as the Vice-Chancellor of Edge Hill University, I hereby confer the award of Honorary Doctor of Arts upon the pioneering Gary Everett. Congratulations.
Pro-Chancellor, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all those who have made this honorary doctorate possible. I am delighted to accept the award, and especially at the School of Performing Arts. It is an amazing privilege. I will cherish this moment for years to come. Thank you. To all the graduates here today, a big congratulations on your achievements. In 2019, there are still over 70 countries where it's illegal to be LGBT. Over 34 of these countries are members of the British Commonwealth, a staggering and worrying statistic, which is getting worse and not better. Can you imagine what it is like to survive in such hostile conditions? A country where the predominant religions say you are a sinner, the law of the land says you're a criminal, the social norms say you're someone who isn't welcome in your homeland. Imagine for a moment what it must be like to be living in fear of being arrested for just being who you are and living out your life without the constant daily threat of being found out. In some states, the punishment is so severe, it includes capital punishment. The global situation is deteriorating. In addition to places where it's legal to be gay, there are still cases where state-sponsored homophobia is endemic, such as Russia and Turkey, where harsh propaganda laws still remain on the statute books, and often the activists who work tirelessly for equality are arrested and imprisoned for just speaking out or organising a local pride march. The case in these countries is problematic and remains very challenging. In a country where the whole concept of sex and sexuality is a taboo, we are learning to navigate our universal ways by highlighting love as a centre of all, as a human right that can't be denied, hoping for better. Throughout my career, I have kept this at the forefront of my thinking and used art and culture to make society a much more tolerant and accepting place. Closer to home, it is important to remember we still have many cultural bridges to cross and win hearts and minds. The importance of cultural diversity, particularly the acceptance and inclusion of LGBT communities, is of paramount importance in creating the conditions for a happier, healthier and cohesive society, offering an effective way to bridge differences while fostering a climate of respect. We know there are still endemic levels of homophobic and transphobic bullying in schools, and even though we enjoy a far more liberal society in the UK in terms of legislation and culture, the teaching of sexual diversity, particularly in secondary schools, shows there's a lot of resentment under the surface. Actually calling someone gay is one of the easiest ways to show a person's disregard and extreme contempt. It can also have a detrimental effect on a person's mental health and well-being. Homophobic and transphobic hate crime is still a major problem within society, and recently it was reported that there was a huge increase in transgender hate crime compared to homophobic crimes. Northern Ireland still outlaws civil partnerships, which is alarming, especially in the context of Ireland, where civil partnerships are legalised, and also in the mainland UK. My experience is that day to day, and as individuals, most Northern Irish people aren't homophobic anymore, but the country lags behind the rest of the UK in terms of laws and political culture. Is far from tolerant. Like in other parts of the world affected by political homophobia, there is a strong link to conservative religious groups and tribal politicians who fight any positive move made for gay people as a way of motivating their core votes and followers. I have met many trans women who are thriving in spite of everything, but many who continue to struggle on multiple fronts. None of this is helped by the current government's attitude to social support and benefits. All this, and I live in Liverpool. The oppression transgender women and women of colour face worldwide is shocking and heartbreaking. Social attitudes have improved in the past decade, thanks to particularly activism from the transgender community, and the growing understanding and acceptance from the younger generations, aided enormously by the web and social media sites. Social discrimination continues to set us back even when there is a measure of tolerance and still closely impacts our careers and personal lives. As in every society, young people tend to be pushing the boundaries. Younger people just don't see it as a problem and not even considering sexuality as an issue. As you graduate today, you begin a new chapter in your careers. Today, reflect on what you have achieved. Be proud. As future theatre makers, choreographers, artists, producers or managers, you have an invaluable role to play in ensuring that true cultural diversity remains at the heart of your thinking and positioning. You have a unique role in shaping cultural policy in the future and can make huge inroads in creating an even more liberal and thriving cultural and art scene. Art has the untapped potential to cross boundaries, change and influence opinions, and create conditions that foster greater global cultural acceptance and indeed champion the wider diversity of our shared experiences. Take what you've learned at Edge Hill into the world and make a contribution to helping society change for the better. The arts are a vital and integral part of our world. Think of the huge possibilities of how art can change lives. Think of art as social change and how you can be at the forefront of creating art that goes some way in making positive change, celebrates who we are, asks difficult questions, and isn't afraid of making noise and protest where it is most needed. To end today, I'd like to share a quote by the celebrated late activist Harvey Milk. If you are not personally free to be yourself in that most important of all human activities, the expression of love, then life itself loses its meaning. Thank you very much.
Pro-Chancellor, each year, working in partnership with the university, the Students' Union invites nominations from students to recognise those staff, both academic and non-academic staff, who've made the greatest difference to their time at university. Each year, the Students' Union receives hundreds of nominations from students wishing to recognise the impact colleagues have had on them, and this year is no exception. From the hundreds of nominations, just a handful of awards are made, and the work of these exceptional colleagues is recognised at these ceremonies. Today I'd like to invite the Vice President of the Students' Union, Molly Horton, to present the award for Support Staff of the Year. The award goes to a colleague who particularly supports students to develop their employability skills by undertaking employed roles on campus. The award goes to a colleague in the Arts Centre about whom the students say, "She looks after every single one of us in a way that is above and beyond. She is always interested in and considerate of our university experience, workloads and other stresses. She will do her utmost to provide us with the best possible chances to work without overwhelming us, and if we ever take too much on, she is always the first person to check if we're okay. She maintains a friendly face and calm and collected attitude, even if below the surface there are many things to stress about. This is reflected in us as her staff who are influenced and inspired by her work ethic. This award for Support Staff of the Year and for being a wonderful role model to our students goes to Celia Wardle Robinson.
Vice-Chancellor, on behalf of Academic Board, I present students who are candidates for awards today. For defending a doctoral thesis entitled Approaching Aesthetic Positions for Neocomedia, 1946-2016, a dramaturgical investigation mindful of the potential for local, social, and political relevance, I present Oliver Harold Crick. For defending a doctoral thesis entitled Arts Therapies for Dementia, a systematic review and community-based case study on the value of music therapy and dance movement therapy, I present Stephen Lyons. For defending a doctoral thesis entitled Trauma-Informed Dance Movement Psychotherapy, Understanding the Therapeutic Process and Its Components, I present Caroline Sher-Gallon. For defending a dissertation entitled Phylogeography of the Mars Fritillary in Europe, I present Rebecca Marie Whitla. Master of Arts in Making Performance, Lorraine Margaret Fear. Chidozi Kelechi Ihebuzor. Master of Research in Biology, Gillian Rosamund Lewis. Bachelor of Arts with Honors in Dance, Pascal Emile Barrett. Rachel Louise Baxter. Amy Catherine Bitham. Chloe Buckley. Eleanor Eugene Bullenheit. Abigail Burns. Rebecca Chappell. Megan Louise Clark. Georgia Ann Day. Sophie Elizabeth Dix. Olivia Nicole Falson. Chloe J. McFryer. Holly Ann Goff. Danny Jacqueline Grove. Kate Elizabeth Harding. Sophie Hill. Tani Henderson. Heather Rose Higdon. Alicia Lillian Ingram. Madeleine Rose Jefferson. Katie Jones. Benjamin Johnny Lee. Isabel Emma Lino. Alice May Marsden. Tyler Daniel Parkin. Thomas Joseph Purchase. Lauren Jade Helena Rice. Georgia Emily Shea. Kerry Julia Taylor. Zoe Abby Louise Thornton. Amy Melissa Wright. Bachelor of Arts with Honors in Dance and Drama, Emily Bent. Tamsina Wathe. Kate Ann Smith. Bachelor of Arts with Honors in Drama, Louis Lee Akers. Louis Nicol Andrews. Rebecca Carol Bailey. Kazia Susan Cannon. Joshua Chadwick. Megan Kaur Crossland. Rebecca Ann Cummings. Nathaniel Davis. Sophie Clara Doty. Harriet Olivia Duffy. Danielle Louise Halpin. Christopher William Harrop. Joshua David Henderson. Charlotte Nicole Highfield. Charlotte Amy Jones. Emily Angela Kerwin. Summerstar Gladys Manning Lesenby. Theodore Lloyd. Emma Marie Patricia Lomas. Thomas James Maggio. Jessica Edith Monelly. William Connor Nimick. Francesca Louise Peacock. Cameron David Roger. Jack James Schofield. Melissa J. Schofield. Connor James Shirley. Holly Jane Stevens. Stephen Louis Thompson. Mary Susanna Charlotte Towson Hawkins. Ethan Alistair Tyler. Louis Simon Ware. Judith Francesca Williams. Abigail Lauren Woodcock. Kathleen Marie Yates. Bachelor of Arts with Honors in Drama and English Literature, Georgina Hazel Blake. Rachel Chandler. Bachelor of Arts with Honors in Music, Elizabeth Louise Burgess. Bachelor of Arts with Honors in Music Production, Patrick James Ball. Oliver Sam Blore. Bethan Claudia Childs. Thomas Louis Collins. Samuel Francois Dovin. James Duckworth. Matthew Ben Gardner. Paul Ronald Griffiths. Justin Timothy Hanna. Anthony Alexander Maiden. Carla Marie Poole. Jonathan Edward Shipton. Connor Grayson Zachary Wakefield. Louis Weeks.
For Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Musical Theatre, Rubin Frederick Austin. Alexis Mai Bamforth. Katie Louise Beardall. Jennifer Rebecca Blackburn. Georgina Louise Booth. Chloe April Bowler. Coral Marie Bradley. Lauren Louise Brown. Anthony Campbell King. George Kubra. Caitlin May Cowan. Charlotte Erin Craig. Catherine Rebecca Dakin. Samantha Jane Dickens. Amy Elizabeth Draper. Demi Marie Edmonds. Laura Louise Ely. Samantha Jade Ewan. Rhiannon Lucy Fitzpatrick. Luke James Fraser. Emma Hinley. Emma Kate Hodkinson. Amber Catherine Irons. Eleanor Lamb. Margarita Anna MacArthur. Olivia Dawn Matlock. Kaylee Margaret McCardle. Katie Ann McCabe. Debbie Roberta Mercer. Thomas Michael Patterson. Lanina Holly Pringle Morris. Alicia Georgia Rice. Ben Richardson. Sean James Roberts. Lily Mae Seaman. Layla Lennon Whitehead. Phoebe Louise Woodward. For Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Performing Arts, Abby Megan Ashurst. Jessica Hope Bennett. Sarah Joanna Bentley. Rhiannon April Cairns. Casey Jade Campbell. Emily Louise Cass. Laura Chassells. Megan Hampshaw. Katie Rose Smith. Zoe Delita Tal. Rhiannon Rose Thomas. Renault Guy Olga Verbiest. For Bachelor of Arts with honours in Popular Music, Tyler Thane Michael Martin. Simran Kiran Sega. For Bachelor of Science with honours in Biology, Shelby Elizabeth Anderson. Jessica Mary Berry. Abigail Jade Broomfield. Amy Callan. Dylan James Collier. Kainwyn Grace Cooper. James Michael Francis Darcy. Thomas Andrew Dabbs. Leah Hazel Eccles. Caitlin Esther Eilbeck. Lorna Jane Halliwell. Joseph Hughes. Jacob Andrew Michael Kelly. Holly Jane Layton. Bryn James McCulloch. Evan James Morris. Christian Daniel Porritt. Atala Georgie Regito. Sonic Silwal. Graham Stelfox. Niall James Traynor. Tyler Paul Valentine. Tegan Grace Yates. For Bachelor of Science with honours in Ecology and Conservation, John Beresford. Thomas Bunclark. Amy Nicole Gill. Tom Patrick Sweeney. For Bachelor of Science with honours in Genetics, Philip Martin Bretherton. Megan Lucy Burt. Alicia Jade Edwards. Catherine Rachel Gennery. Vice-Chancellor, the following candidate has been awarded the Royal Society of Biology Prize for achieving the highest aggregate mark across all 3 years of their programme within the biology department. Isabel Rachel Houston. Sophie Rhiannon Hughes Tate. Fizit Jan Sofa. Velizar Nikov. Amelia Petter Saunders. Rabaya Sidat. Ashley Llewellyn Tuffin. For Bachelor of Science with honours in Human Biology, Natasha Grace Atherton. Olivia Cragg. Celine de Camp. Vishvangi Durji. Vice-Chancellor, the following candidate has been awarded the Hazel Richardson Prize for achieving the highest overall average percentage mark of those finalists in the Faculty of Arts and Sciences 2018-19. Megan Douglas. Liam Oliver Gibson. Zoe Jempson. Michelle Denise Mackay. Deborah Gwendolyn Owen. Jade Lily Pascoe. Faye Jacqueline Schofield. Rosalie Stewart. For Bachelor of Arts in Musical Theatre, Mohammed Tahiru Zaman. Vice-Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of students.
You're a noisy lot, aren't you? Biologists. Lots of applause, but No awards yet. Important words. By the authority vested in me as the Vice-Chancellor of Edge Hill University, I hereby confer the Edge Hill University Awards for which you have been presented, and I congratulate you all. Wave those hats in the air.
Ladies and gentlemen, with a song for our graduating class of 2019, will you please welcome Miss Lucy McHale.
That people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most to grow. If we let them, and we help them in return, well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I knew you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, I have been changed for good. It will maybe that we will never meet again in this lifetime. So let me say because I knew you, because I knew you. I have been changed for
Thank you very much, Lucy. Hope you've enjoyed what has turned out to be a very lively and excellent ceremony. Can I point you now to probably be very much needed refreshments back in the central campus in the hub area. Can I wish you a safe journey home, and I now declare that this ceremony is closed.